Hey YouTube, Alexi Giovanni here for another video. This time it's around flower breeding, and if anyone were to know me very well, they'd know that flower breeding is something that I just dwell on and something that's always fixated on to try and get as many of the flowers as quick as possible, but more so to try and get the hard ones. So it's always a challenge to try and get these. So this tutorial is really just to focus on two particular ones, and I suggest that you work on either one or two flowers at the one time, because it can get a little bit daunting, especially when you're trying to breed blue roses, which hopefully will be another video in the future. But this one in particular is concentrating around two particular flowers, and that's the hyacinth and tulip, both of which have very similar DNA, if you call it that, for flowers. And so the patterns that you're looking for is somewhat similar, so it makes it a little bit less mind-boggling trying to get this down pat. So what I've done here is I've just laid out a formation just to help me keep in order, and so it's a good way to sort of put your flowers in this particular formation. I find it easy to flower them, to water them rather easily, so you can water at 6 flowers at one time. And so you can sort of see on screen here, this is what we're looking to plant them in this particular formation. And you can see on screen as well, it's only sort of like a half 12 by 12. So in this case, we're just isolating it to a 6 by 3. So 6 across and 3 down. But in full flight, you'd be doing this across 12 spots. So use it as much as you want to, but this is really just isolating it just to a small portion, just so you can see what it's all about. So we're planting, these are all seeds. So the ones you just buy from the shop, and these are obviously grown over a number of days to the point where I think to 3 or 4 days you get to the full bloom, and this is where you can place the flowers so that you can see their coloring. And so just to keep it simple, you've got the red row in the middle there across the hyacinth and tulip. And so once these are all done, the idea here is that you would water them yourself, but often it's very hard to do this and get this all done by yourself and get any flowers breeding just by yourself watering. So I tend to just invite friends, or even put out to websites or apps that allow people to come and visit and exchange watering for some other form of payment, whether it's Nook Miles or Bells. It really allows you to get up to 5 people to water these flowers so that they can sparkle and get a higher chance of these breeding. So these flowers in particular will all breed. If they do bear offspring, they'll have a 50% chance of creating a yellow tulip or hyacinth, and a 50% chance of a orange. So I'm just going to create a little bit of an area again, just so you can visualize what the formation would be. So I'm keeping it very similar, planting the yellows in the same place as the yellows at the top section. So zone number 1. This is zone number 2 that we're working on at the moment. So this is kind of all the offspring that you would have taken from that first batch. And so instead of using the reds in the middle, we're using oranges. And you'll see that as I sort of complete this little guide that I've got on the floor. And the one thing to note as well is when you do make these, so when we do make these changes over here, we'll plant any offspring that come from those particular tulips. So in this case, we had a 50% chance of an yellow tulip, and another day you might have had a 50% chance to get a orange tulip. So you put those together to breed themselves. These have got a 6% chance to get a purple. So it's not an awesome chance, but it's still a chance. But the one thing that you're looking for with these particular ones is, if you ever do get a black tulip, you should start to rejoice, because you're that little bit closer to getting that purple tulip. So the idea here is that if you do get any of these black tulips, put them there and sit and wait for it for a little bit. So get your people to come around, friends and family, come and water the flowers. Hopefully once, because they're isolated by themselves, like in this case, they'll duplicate and clone themselves to the exact same flower that you had before. So what you're waiting for there is, once you do get a clone, they'll breed themselves, and you're just watching those again after spawn, just to see that you do get consistently get a black, or in best case, you'll get that purple. And so to get that particular purple, you'll be getting that purple 25% of the time. So if you ever do have that magic combination of that special black tulip, you'll get 25%. So already you've increased your chances of getting that purple tulip overall. The other thing to note is with the flowers for the hyacinth, if you ever do get a blue one, you should start clapping, because at this point here you're again, just like the black tulip, you're that little bit closer to getting that purple hyacinth. So again, we just leave it overnight, see if you can get it to clone. If you do get that double of the blue hyacinth, you know that if it does breed, it will pretty much give you a 25% chance of a purple hyacinth. So a lot of time it's a little hard and daunting to try and get these purple flowers, but if you just break it down to keep it simple and isolate it to a couple of flowers at the one time, you can really focus your attention. So your hard work is done at this point. You've pretty much reached your goal. You've got that purple flower. Don't forget to set them aside so that you can clone them from this point on. So just put them in by themselves and let them clone themselves, and that way you don't have to go through this whole pain, and you can use this space to try and breed some more. So I guess it's time for me to clean up my mess, so I'm going to take this helmet off my head. If you found this video useful, please subscribe, comment, like the video, and do hit that bell icon so that you can see any new uploads as they come in. So who knows what the next video is going to be. It could be a new pack opening for amiibos, or it could be another flower video. Who knows? So here's just the layout guide for you to plant your flowers so that you can see where you plant which flowers. This is Alexi Giovanni just signing off. Look forward to seeing you next time.